Hi everyone, it's Kristen Redman, and today we're going to go over the planetary aspects that are surrounding us and affecting us for this upcoming week of September 11th through the 17th. And this week, out there we just have most of the aspects that are going to be happening here with planet Venus. So this is going to be a week, for all of us of course, but it's going to make kind of the most impact on our friends that are ruled by Venus. So those are going to be the people that have their sun, moon, or ascendant of their birth chart in the sign of Libra or in the sign of Taurus, because both of those signs are ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet for all of us that represents our heart center, how we love, how we give and receive love. It's the planet of love and money, because those things, love and money, are exchanged through the heart center. It's an exchange of give and take. Now, the other things that Venus rules are harmony and balance. It's the planet of relationships and, of course, of love. So it's going to be of relationships. So you will find that Venus in the skies and Venus in our chart will impact the relationships not only that we have with those close one-on-ones, marriage and partnerships along those lines. It's also for friendships, close friendships, for client-therapist relationships, for working relationships that we have with our co-workers. All of those things fall under the category of Venus. And another thing, too, that Venus rules is beauty, because it is the planet of harmony. It likes things to be fair. It likes things to be balanced. You can see why it rules Libra, the sign that's the scales, because it likes for things to be balanced. And so does Venus. It likes things to be harmonious and easygoing for everybody involved. So it's known as a planet of harmony, balance, wonderful things. And those are the things that happen when Venus takes center stage. And this is the year where Venus really has taken center stage, because this is the year where Jupiter has gone into Libra. And if you haven't watched any of my other videos, we understand that Jupiter going into Libra is a big thing. It hasn't been here for 14 years, and Jupiter is the planet of luck, and as it goes into that scale balancing sign of Libra, it really tries to bring us new luck and opportunities to balance those scales. Venus, of course, rules Libra, so I say that it's a year of Venus where scales are really balanced in those areas of our personal relationships. So this week, Venus is really the only planet out there that's making some pretty interesting impacts with the other planets. So like I said, it's going to impact our Taurus friends and our Libra friends the most this week. But all of us, the same, regardless this year, are kind of undergoing a recalibration of the scales, I suppose you could say, in those areas that affect our heart center. Bringing out the past, focusing on the new, trying to bring new things into light, based off of what we've learned coming through, especially as we went through that Venus retrograde, which doesn't happen every year, during the 40 days of Lent. So that was a lot of looking back to the past in those areas for us, and how to kind of restructure things moving forward in terms of how we give and receive love and how we give and receive our money, right? Both of those things are called into focus. So this week, Saturn makes a very good connection on Tuesday, on the 12th. With that planet Venus, trying to balance those scales. Now, Saturn is the planet that really is the stabilizer of the solar system. Saturn is the planet that makes us work hard for things. And as Saturn makes a connection with this Venus in the sky, it's really trying to solidify some plans that maybe we got going at the beginning of the summer. See, when Saturn trined or made this really good connection with Venus last, it was June 1st. And a lot of times in astrology, when one aspect happens, usually when the next aspect happens later in the year, is when you will see something else coming to fruition from that initial impact that happened at that date. So think to yourself, what happened in terms for you in your relationships, in your work relationships, how you work in general, how you're making money, at June 1st, because here we go, that energy is back again, and because it's Saturn making this connection, it's really trying to make sure you got a good solid footing to any plans that you're trying to put into motion moving forward. Now, the last time when that happened, back on June 1st, Venus was in the sign of Aries, which is a fire sign. And it was about initiating new things, new beginnings in these relationships, new beginnings in work, new frontiers, right? That's what is trying to blaze some new trails. Now we're back again, and Venus is in another fire sign, which is pretty awesome, but Venus is in the sign of Leo. And when Venus goes through Leo, that's a time when we're focused on what makes us happiest. It's about time for focusing on our needs. It's where we gain confidence in these relationships. So you'll find that this week, especially with some of the other impacts that Venus is having out there, especially on Sunday when it trines Uranus, there may be some sort of opportunity that approaches. Well, hold on, let me get through that. Some sort of opportunity that comes through where you meet somebody, where connections are made, whether it's for romance or whether it's for business, no matter what it is, there may be an opportunity for somebody to come through. Just listen to what your intuition is telling you and guiding you where to go, because you may meet this person and find out they're one of the most beneficial people you've ever met in your life. You know, you never know. Especially because we have Venus aligning with the North Node this week. Now, what in the heck's the North Node, right? The North Node in astrology is kind of a calculated point between the Sun and the Moon. And it represents what our life's purpose is. It's our greater calling, our greater soul's purpose, and where we're evolving into. This year it moved into Leo. It hasn't been there for 20 years. That's why I say a lot of times that there's a lot of new energy in terms of life purpose that hasn't happened since 1999, because this is it, right? North Node going into Leo, it's about being confident in your creative energies, your unique energies, that are really trying to propel you to where your soul has evolved to now, and to give you the confidence to stand up and say, you know what, yeah, this is what I do, and this is how I love, and this is how I need to be happy. Because ultimately that's what Leo focuses on. It's the sign that is most focused on the self, what makes the self happy. And as Venus tours through Leo, we have that energy going through as well, focusing on how to get our needs met, how to get appreciation for what we've done in these areas, recognition, because those things are very vital in any relationship, that giving and receiving of the appreciation to one another. And that comes into focus this week as well. Okay, especially with Saturn working on there, it's going to try to make things a little more stable. This is a week where if you start a relationship, it's going to be one that definitely will hold some longevity to it. If there's a proposal of any sort, if there's a new job opportunity of some sort that comes your way, whatever affects that center where you're giving and receiving of love or money, with Saturn making a good connection, it's going to make sure that it has a good, solid, long-lasting foundation to it. So that's something awesome to keep in mind. To keep in mind for those fortunate contacts that come up too, because Uranus is involved. Mind you, this is something that hasn't happened at all this year, and then it'll happen again at the time of the winter solstice in December, so December 20th. Here's another one of those things where we're saying once it happens in the year, this may be an opportunity where you meet somebody this week, and then let's say that you actually don't start making something happen from it until December 20th, because that's when this exact aspect will happen again. This aspect in general here that we're talking about is Uranus, the planet that brings unexpected, crazy electric energy into things. We'll be making a connection with that wonderful Venus of ours. So that brings the unexpected person through. That brings the unexpected opportunity through. And it gives us a chance just to explore new things, break some rules, break some things, whatever it is, no matter what. It's a good thing, a good sign, and it's a wonderful energy to have out there. This is a week where, because we've got Saturn that's in retrograde, remember that's one that's bringing some good solid things coming through, but because Saturn has been retrograde, Venus makes this connection with it, somebody from the past may come back too. So keep an eye out for that. Somebody, whether it's a friend, whether it's a lover, whether it's a love, whatever it is, someone from the past may come back. But yeah. And then so another thing too, besides love and money, this is also about creating things, right? Because Leo is such a creative energy, creating from the self. So this is one of those weeks where you are out wanting to do some DIY projects too, right? Making something out of nothing and being able to look at it and say, my golly, I did that. And the confidence and the happiness and satisfaction that comes from that when you actually make something and you can look back and say, dang, I did that. It's awesome. You know, I was doing that just before I got white spray paint on my fingers because I was spray painting some gourds white because I got this amazing idea for something I'm going to do for my fall decorations that I got out. But it makes us happy when we can live in our creative energies as well. So that is going on this week. That's about it, really, that's happening this week. Just a lot of things that are happening with Venus. So I see this a week for relationships, lessons learned through relationships, and making new ones at that, right? So, that's what they got to tell us. So let's do a reading, get a little bit more energy on other things that might be going on behind the scenes, or things just to kind of centralize our focus on. So let's pull one of my stones and see what Archangel is working with us and kind of guiding us, giving us a little bit of insight this week as to what to look for. Very strong. Oh, Archangel Raziel, what a big surprise. Angel of Leo, he's appeared so much this year, and I think because it really is a year for Leo to shine. A lot of Leos out there. There may be a Leo watching right now. This is the year where we focus on our needs, and I had that written on here too as the theme of the week, and I didn't even say it. Our needs and the restrictions we have to getting them are really brought into focus this week. And he's the angel that really helps us see things clearly in our dreams, the messages that we receive in our dreams. But he also helps us dream bigger while we're awake. So maybe you're dreaming for a bigger relationship or a better job or a new relationship or someone special in your life, new friends, new networks, new ideas for your creativity, new clients, whatever it is. He's the angel that helps you dream bigger, because as we dream bigger, we manifest. And when we manifest, that's when the universe listens and it brings us what we want. So he's around this week, Angel of the Rainbow, bringing us a message. So let's see what he's got to say this week for all of us. One more. Good news is ahead. Three of Water is a card that always signifies some sort of union. It's a card traditionally in the tarot that represents that a wedding is going to happen. There's going to be some kind of job opportunity that comes through, a new relationship that comes through, a proposal that happens. Remember I said that earlier too. So obviously if that happens this week for somebody out there, especially if you're Leo based, this is a fantastic week for that to happen because Saturn's on your side to make sure it's solid too. But generally this is a card that represents that wonderful things are coming. There's something to celebrate, right? Those dreams that we have, those things we're trying to bring in, keep that in focus because ultimately great things are going to be coming through. A celebration, it says a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. That's true. I totally neglected that part of it too. Leo rules children in general. So you'll find that this week there may be restrictions that happen with our kids because Saturn is involved. And Saturn does make a bad connection with the sun this week, and I failed to mention that too. So where we have this push and this energy, thanks to Mars going into Virgo last week, to really work on things and get things done. This might be a week where there are delays because Saturn likes to hold us back a little bit because it wants to make sure everything's right before we act. So there may be that happening too. But birth announcement too, long and short of it, Leo rules children. So you may find this week that there's some news regarding your kids, things are delayed, things are what have you, but it may also be a sign that somebody's going to be expecting a baby too. You might get that news that the little one is coming through. So that's a good one too. And here's another thing too. It says, well, this is very Leo because Leo's all about fun. It says the need to have more fun, right? Maybe that's one thing Raziel wants you to do. Dream big and daydream too, just like a kid, and have more fun too. A lot of childlike energy that comes from that. Such a good card. It's such a positive card. And I love that because we've had so much heavy energy lately. Heavy energy. So let's pull a chakra card as well. Get a little bit more insight on this great news that they have coming through and what it necessarily might entail. So Raziel, if you could pull a card for us here. Help explain just a little bit more one thing. One word, one center, one chakra point that we need to focus on to really bring that joy and celebration through for us, right? I feel like I need to do it one more time. Sometimes I get shuffling so many times I get self-conscious about how many times I shuffle. I'm just going to shuffle till my heart says it's okay. And y'all can listen to the screaming bugs while I do it. What's the celebration? Beautiful. Here we go. Our passion. How cool is that? And I love it too because there's a full moon in the background and we're just coming off of this very powerful full moon that happened this week. A full moon that really focused on our earthly body versus our spiritual body and that balance between the two. And this card is awesome because it focuses on our passions that we have for our divine life mission, really, is the passion that it's getting across. What burns you inside? What gives you that drive and desire to wake up in the morning? What is it? You know, what is it within you? But we see it on dual sides, right? Because this is the week of Venus. Not only is it passion for our work and what we're doing, it's also our money, how we make our money. What is it that we have that passion for either way, right? For those we love, those we care about, those we serve in our role, in our work, those things come into play this week as well. Okay, so here we go, moving forward, knowing that no matter what, as long as we're following our heart, following our passions, good things come through. Listen to our dreams. Know that Raziel is helping you, giving you the confidence to go through and show that passion without any reserve. So everybody out there, have a pretty chill week, a laid back week, and know that the universe is working through your heart center, bringing things through. Have a wonderful week. Bye.